I'm not. I don't know what you mean by wizard
You don't know what those. You don't know what those are.
they're not like real world things.
That's what you think. That's what you think. All right. All right. Well, what did you come up here to talk about then, bro? Go ahead.
I was what I was putting in chat. I'm curious how you think that Critias is anything more than just a fictional work by Plato.
Did you read it?
Much like.
Did you read it?
Well, dude, I can tell just by 2 seconds.
Did you read it or not?
No, I'm not.
No, then why are you asking me about something you didn't even read?
Sir, because if you're saying that you believe something so fervently, I just want to know your viewpoint and understand it so that when I do read
If you want to understand it, why would you not go read the damn book then? Stop trying to press me on a book you didn't even read. You sound dumb.
Sir, I'm just asking a question.
No, you're not. You're trying to press me on a book. Yeah, you're trying to press me on a book that you didn't even read. All right.
If I go read it and come back and ask the same question, would I get a different response?
After you read it, of course.
All right, then bet. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, bro. Looking forward to it. So if I read it and I come back, yep, absolutely. I dare you go read it. But he gonna fall asleep halfway. What's good, Crimson? Crimson said, the humblest, the undefeated, the undisputed heavyweight debate champion of the world, the protector of the scientific method, Evil Steve, Stefan Urkel. It's Friday night and I'm not drinking, so, I'm going to be up. And so I figure I come through and do this. Young brother came up earlier and, sent some disrespect my way. And as opposed to giving the brother what he wants, I'm going to just take the high road, if you understand what I mean. The very, very high road. I mean, so high up he can't even see or reach. No offense to him, but, some people just don't know who they talking to. They just don't know. Tell me how history's 100% lies when I can go to blank and ask what actually happened. I don't think you've ever done that, because if you did, you might find out that it's a lot different than what you were told. All right? Let's try not to bring up those type of events, though, because certain topics are censored on YouTube, if you don't mind. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you for that question, PVT. What's good, Darren? Sataru said, does he genuinely believe everything written? It's not a matter of what I believe, all right? These things are consistent with the scientific method. These things have been confirmed through primary documentation. Shout out user, thank you for the 10 jewels, bro. We're back with a fresh energy. All right, we're back with a fresh energy. Yeah, no, like I said, bro, I don't like talking about events that involve the losing of life of a bunch of people, because this type of stuff is censored on YouTube. If you don't mind, bro, I don't mind participating in the conversation with you and answering your questions. If you could just not ask me about those things specifically, there are certain things we just can't talk about on here, bro. If you don't understand that, then I'm not going to be able to answer all your questions, which I don't want to do. All right, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf, bro. It's not going that well. It's not going that well. So, Taru, can you give me a real scientific experiment that has proven the shape of the Earth, not something that has been done by quote unquote flat earthers? You guys like to use that a lot, which is interesting because you don't actually like respect these people. And I wouldn't necessarily respect them either, right? So is there a real scientist that has actually proved it? If you do have one, I would love for you to insert that. PVT said they have it on video. Well, I respect that PVT, but I'm not the type of person that believes necessarily in movies. There has like if we're believing in the scientific method, right? There's not a step in the scientific method that says watch a movie. So that's my point. I'm not saying these things are or are not real. I'm saying these are consistent with the scientific method. You know what I mean? So you can believe it because of what you've seen on video. That's fine, and that may be a good enough reason for you. But if I am staying true to the scientific, like I got to be true to my name. You see what Crimson had when I have pinned. Like they gave me the name, the protector of the scientific method. So I got to protect the scientific method. I got to do it. That's all I'm doing. Yeah, good for them, Soroto. I'm honestly, I don't necessarily talk about like that necessarily. So I'm just talking about whether or not we have evidence that the Earth is a globe. So good for them, but I don't consider that to be, I don't listen to them. If you listen to them, then that's fine, but I don't listen to them. Guys, it's kind of late. If you wouldn't mind being positive, all right? I know it's Friday, but let's try to be nice to each other. Tim said I like the classical music. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, I'm not a political person, Sky. Yeah, I told you I was just restarting it. I just want to forget that happened. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. Hey, can we try to be nice in the chat, guys, please? I'm from Liverpool. How's it going? Let's just try to be nice. All right, let's try to be respectful. Ugh. I feel like I'm the Incredible Hulk begging people to leave me alone. Are you open to any different ideas? Yes, but only if those ideas are in concordance with the scientific method. Not not the scientific method that you guys made up. I'm talking about the real scientific method. So you have experiments that prove anything, then I'm always open to it. Forbidden said Earth is conscious. I don't have a scientific method. There's only one scientific method, guy. See, this is already getting suspicious. Absent said the general population will always want to laugh and mock those that don't fit the narrative or box. The thing is, though, that many times these wacky people are right about many things. I wish we could see the dark side of the moon because the moon we see never revolves. Darren said, or an experiment you have done yourself with the scientific method. Brendan said it's called a title lock. Brendan, is there any evidence of this? Zimbo also said title lock. Is there any evidence of this? Scientific evidence? Yeah, we saw that the first time, Brendan. But is there any evidence of this? Chicano said Space was filmed in a Hollywood basement. Oh, okay, my bad, Zimbo. I'm from Liverpool. I think you might have had one too many because that's not what I said. Ooh. One shot said sometimes you see the sun and moon out at the same time. So how can the world be round? Why is the ocean perfectly straight when you look at it? Shout out one shot. HT said the undefeated, undisputed master debater of the world. Oh. Darren said the earth is round and flat. Badger said, what is the scientific method so I can work with it? Forbidden, I have no idea whether or not your grandfather taught in Vietnam. I have no idea. No disrespect to your grandfather. Temple said, I thought it was filmed in the Nevada desert. Latchy said, the earth is a globe, king. If you have any evidence of that, I'll take it now. If not, then I would have to respectfully disagree. Evan, no spell casting over here, please. Stanley said, just ask AI. So that's where we are as a society. People legitimately believe that you should get all of your information from AI. User said the river and ocean can fuse energy, can fuse Earth energy to create crystals and diamonds. Indigo girl, you're 100% right. Hey, I'm from Liverpool. Just say you don't have proof, bro. It's all right. We're not gonna press you for believing in fairy tales. Listen, I'm from Liverpool. I've been streaming all day, bro. I've showed like many different evidences of pretty much everything up here. If you want to see that bad, bro, go watch my old stream, all right? Yeah, I'd rather talk to honest people. You seem like you are, you know what you are, bro. You know what you are. But just know that you seem like it a lot right now, and I'm good. One shot said, "Why do you think every country in the world will make us believe the same thing? Because we all brainwashed. It's time to do your own research to wake up, guys." Shout out one shot. I'm gonna make you a moderator just off that comment, bro. But don't abuse it, all right? Jaspin said the Earth is a soup trust. Evan said, could it be possible that the myth of dragons came from dinosaur fossils? Evan, could it be possible that all those quote unquote dinosaur fossils are just dragons? Dre said, that's how it works. Thought the burden of proof is on the accuser. Are you out of your mind? Bro, you are in a YouTube chat right now, all right? Calm all that shit down. You are not in court. Darren said, so the globe has never been proven, so what the F do you need any proof of anything? You already believe in the BS in pseudoscience. Zim said, I love how some atheists refute the Bible based on the fact it refers to unicorns without knowing rhinos were called unicorns by the Romans. I am from Liverpool said, no, your claims bear the burden of proof. I am Liverpool. I do not even know you, bro. You could be a bot or whatever the hell, all right? I don't know you. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Like the video, I guess, if you guys like the content, but I don't know you, bro. All right. Calm it down. Yeah, Dre, we're not in court, but yeah, maybe don't try so hard, bro. All right. Sometimes people just don't, you know what I mean? Yeah, sometimes you just don't gel with other people, you know what I mean? The way you came off is weird. You came off super pretentious. I'm sorry. I mean, if being ignorant is a way of life, I'm like, I don't like people like that. All right, I don't like you. I already don't want to talk to you. You know what I mean? It's just that simple. If you would have came off like honest, like I'm interested, whatever it is, then maybe I'd be like, all right, he's a cool dude. Let me have a conversation with him. You don't seem like you're an honest guy. I don't like people like that. So I'm good off talking to you, bro. It really is that simple. You know what I mean? Yeah. Shout out Bobby Brown. Zimbo said, "What's your opinion on concave Earth?" I don't necessarily have an opinion on it. Yeah, it doesn't matter how I'm coming off, bro. I'm done talking to you. You can stay and chill if you want, though. Yeah, as long as you don't say anything out of bounds. You know what I mean? They might want to talk to you in the chat, but yeah. Nice to meet you, though, bro. Boyd said, "I'm speaking on the globe." Claimed. I'm in agreement with you. I've listened for a few hours. You're good, bro. Shout out, Boyd. What's good, Joms? Dre, you know, what I mean, I'm trying not to block you, bro, just because you know you're not really participating in the conversation. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm not interested in talking about my psychological state with another grown man, bro. You know, if you want to talk about the subjects at hand, you can ask questions, you can participate. You know what I mean? But like I said, all the pretentious, like, oh, why are you guys like? I'm too grown for all that, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I really did start to just block you. You know what I mean? Because yeah, like we're not little kids. You know what I mean? Like you could talk to me about the subject. When if I don't want to talk to you, then that's how it is, bro. You know, that's like such as life. You know what I mean? Bobby Brown said, "What about the firmament?" I don't like making claims about stuff that I haven't seen myself, Bobby. All right, that's what it is. I don't talk theories up here. I talk about what has been confirmed through the scientific method and what you can confirm through primary documentation. That's it. So if I ain't seen nothing, then I don't have an opinion on it for real. Out of curiosity, what history specifically 100% lies? I'm saying most of history was told in reverse, especially like the transatlantic slave trade, for example. There were more slaves sold out of America than were sold to America. Did dragons have feathers? I wouldn't know that for sure. Indigo Girl said, I heard the Van Allen radiation belt was the firmament, but I don't know. Indigo Girl said, oh yeah, I don't think they've gone past the Van Allen radiation belt either. What's good, Dacha? Listen, we're just cooling out for a little bit, all right? It's Friday night. I've been streaming all day. I said I was gonna come, do a light little last stream. Yeah, shout out you guys, man. Yeah, like the video, and you already know if you're out there and you're not subbed, and you like the content, you can sub. If you don't, then you could go away. Those are some awesome glasses. Thank you. I appreciate that. I found bacon. Oof. Yeah, you already know. We're gonna be back tomorrow as we usually are. Ugh. Ugh. You just said what the? Ugh. Ooh. Peace. Yeah, shout out all the haters, man. We really got rid of a lot of you guys today. I don't know. I don't know why, but I guess today was the day. I usually don't like to get you guys out of here, but I just, like I said, no more loose harvesting. All right, no more loose harvesting. When they realize that they can't beat you by, giving you better information or proving you wrong, they find creative ways to, like I said, harvest your loosh. Most of it involves asking a bunch of questions over and over and over and over again, innocently, right? Oh, yeah, I'm just innocently asking questions. That's why I keep track of when people are asking me the same question over and over and over again within like a minute, 30 seconds. It's like what are the chances that somebody comes in and asks me the exact same question that I just got done talking about, right? And they didn't hear anything that I said before that. They come in right when I get done talking about it and they ask the exact same question and they didn't hear anything that I said. I'm like, you guys are trying to harvest loosh. All right, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to steal, they're trying to steal your energy, your good vibrations. You can't let them do that. Zimbo said loosh is a funny word. Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Think about it. That's why that one the dude that was in here last stream, I don't even want to say his name, but clearly that's what he was in here for. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, you're not slick. And then at the end he tried to cast a spell on me. I'm like, I don't receive that, bro. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, I don't receive that at all, bro. I know what you're trying to do is not working. I don't receive anything that you're trying to put on me. You know what I mean? You got to protect yourself at all levels. Imberio said, "Are you religious?" Nope, I don't see myself as religious. You see Johnny Thunders? That's how people try to cast spells on you. You guys see it right there? That's how people try to cast spells on you. Hey, in the off chance that he was serious, you don't let it happen. We don't receive any of that. We're more successful, more happy, healthier, and more abundant than ever. Every single last one of us. And I appreciate you guys all for tuning in for real. All right. Like the video and you can sub if you want to. All right? If you don't, then please don't. Shout out Indigo Girl. Yeah, relax, Burials, all right? How about you just focus on you? All right. How about you focus on you being less of a problem and then everything else will work itself out. I promise. One shot says, "Stay happy and keep the vibration high." HTK, absolutely not. Zimbo, in a past life, I definitely used to. Yeah, no, my goal is to make people happy and to connect with other people that are interested in finding the truth. All right. If you are an upset person, I would rather you go away and not look at my channel. And Barrios, don't make me block you. All right. Today is not the day for the mind games at all. Japanese Spider-Man said none of the things listed here are true by Ray. Oh my God, bro. You did not put by Ray. No, no effing way. Buddy literally typed in his Japanese accent. That is crazy. This is why I love Asian people. Asian people will make fun of themselves like no other. Buddy said none of the things listed here are true by Ray. Oh my God. It was all worth it, guys. Guys, it was all worth it. It was all worth it. You know what I mean? It was all worth it. Like for real, I knew there was a reason why I wanted to stream late. I just needed to see that. Bro, you are hilarious. You are hilarious, bro. You see HT trying to cast spells on us? HT, I told you we're not receptive to your spells, all right? You have to go away now. You have to go away. That's crazy. Japanese, why would you write it like that? What do you mean I can't mock you? You're the one that said that. You put, look at this is your comment. You put that by Ray. I mean, you are a genius comedian, dog, for real. Like that was next level, bro. Roger, I'm sorry you're upset, but only happy people tonight, all right? Only happy people. You see how Japanese is so quick to make fun of himself? I like people like that, bro. That's crazy you would do that. And by Ray, Japanese Spider-Man, I don't know why you would make a weird claim like that. You know what I mean? You should stop making stuff. You should stop making stuff up. The Earth moving has nothing to do with whether or not we would be alive. Oh my God! Look at how upset Satoru is. You said magnificent panel, brother. Drink and chill with your women. Yeah, bro. Nothing that you said is true. There's nothing to answer there. You're just making shit up. We wouldn't be alive if not this. Well, this is my response to that. If the earth were moving and the globe, we wouldn't be alive. All right. That's my response. All right. I disagree with you. It's the opposite. The opposite is true, bud. Shout out AJ Moore. JJ, let's not take it overboard. All right. My bad. I might have set the goons off on you. Oh, bro, but you did this to yourself. I'm just saying, it takes 2 seconds to read over your sentence before you type it. It takes 2 seconds. Buddy literally gave you the most. I hate to do this to you, bro, but you gave an answer consistent with your name. He's like, but but we would be unalived. Like, do you guys get it? But did you unalive? So he's like, we would be unalived. It's like the exact same answer, bro. Like he's in here joking. Like this ain't Hangover, bro. But did you unalive? How do you know the urge of the globe? Because we would unalive. You get it. I know it sucks that I have to say it like that, but you get it, right? He's like being too true to his name. Come on, bro. You can't do that if he wants to take you serious. Japanese said you believe dragons exist. You haven't read anything. How do you not believe dragons exist? See, this is gonna get too. I don't want to turn it back into this person. All right, you guys are starting to you're starting to trigger me, Japanese Spider-Man. All right, you're coming in here with that name. You're making all these typos. I'm starting to turn green. I don't want to say what's on my mind, but oh my gosh, oh my gosh, it's fighting its way out. I do not want to say it. I do not want to say it, but oh, please, Japanese Spider-Man, just please stop. All right, please stop. Because if you keep going, I can't be held responsible for what I say next, bro. All right, just please stop. Don't talk about dragons, Japanese. All right, anything else, not dragons, please. You cannot come in here and talk about dragons, bro. No, hell no. Okay, bro, you coming in here and talking about how dragons don't exist is like a European telling me as an American that I'm not Native American. I mean, it really is borderline on that. And if you really are Japanese, you know what I'm talking about, bro. How dare you? I mean, you of all people, they still don't like y'all. See, as I said, I don't want to go there, bro. I don't want to go there. All right, just know that I read a lot. I know what you did. All right. I can't believe Buddy just said that. Imagine a Japanese person trying to denounce an important part of Chinese culture. The nerve! Have you guys not learned yet? The nerve! And don't get me wrong, all right? Don't get me wrong. The Japanese restaurants are way better than all of the other ones. But you up here saying this right now, you're crazy. You're out of your mind. I can't believe you said that, bro. Yes, so Taro, yeah, you're just making shit up, bro. You're just making shit up. I appreciate you sharing your religion with us, but we're not interested. Thank you. Yeah, AJ, like I said, I don't even want to go there. I don't even. Yeah, listen, bro. Like, I'm trying not to get really offensive tonight. All right, I'm trying to keep it cool. Shout out Justin. What's good, bro? Yeah, Justin. 8 billion people and still not one real photo exists of a sphere Earth either. What do you know, Justin? Not one real unedited photo of the sphere Earth, Justin. How unfortunate. What's good, the House of St. James? One ready said, "Who are we? Are you American? You pledge allegiance to the flag." Yeah, one ready. Don't come in here with the negativity, bro. Yeah, Justin, you're making all that up. Yeah, one ready to go. Don't come in here with the negativity, man. All right. This is the happy movement. All right. Come in here, be happy, enjoy yourself, or get your ass on. And that goes for you too, Justin. All right. Don't come in here with no negativity tonight, bro. All right. I'm not feeling y'all tonight. I'll get your ass out of here too, even though you're the head cheerleader. And I still love you guys, though. You know, I still love you. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, if you say something out of your mouth and there's no evidence for it, I'm allowed to say that you made it up, Sotaro. Thank you, Bucking. Thank you so much. Yeah, I could say that you made it up, bro, if you don't have evidence to back up what you're saying. Just because you say something, that don't make it true. Who the hell do you think you are? Are you out of your mind? One Shot said, no one can get close to the ice wall because there's over 100 countries protecting it. I have actually seen people take videos of large ice plateaus in Antarctica. So there you go. No, I mean ice plateaus, not icebergs. I like how Japanese got out of there after that. Shout out Japanese. I appreciate you for being a good sport. Not too many people can make fun of themselves like this, for real. I mean, a level of self awareness that rivals only my own. AP3 said, good luck to all the British Patriots marching.
Hey, sir, I'm back.
Yeah, did you read Critias, Angry Conservative?
I
Huh?
don't appreciate the political.
Oh, my bad. Angry Consuela. No, that was an accident, bro. It's late.
No worries, man. No worries.
Angry Consuela. My
no,
bad. Angry Consuela.
I
Did you read
Critias,
Critias?
and I did read Critias.
What did it say? What did it say about America? I mean, what did it say about Atlantis?
It told a story about the mythological society of Atlantis.
Did it use the word mythological?
It's mythological based on the fact that
did it use
Plato,
the word mythological?
No, sir, it did not.
Oh, so you are adding the word mythological. Don't do that, bud. Don't do that.
No, sir. I'm giving you my viewpoint of.
Yeah, I know. And that's what I'm saying. You are saying it's mythological. That don't mean it is just because
exactly. Just like you are saying that Atlantis is real.
I never once said it was real.
You said America equals Atlantis.
Yeah, it used to be. Yeah, they used to call America Atlantis. Yeah.
So that was a real thing that real people did, right?
Well, I don't know if Plato was real or not. I'm just saying that according to the writings of Plato, which you guys like to quote for Atlantis, Plato was describing America. Yeah. That's why I brought it up, because you guys bring it up. You're the one that brings it up when you're talking about Atlantis being in Africa. And I ask you, well, where did you get that from? And then you say Plato. And so I bring up Plato to prove you guys' stupid asses wrong. Just because Plato said it, that don't make it true. We don't even know Plato was a real person, idiot. So I don't know why you dumb idiots would quote that. Yeah, that ain't my evidence. This is your dumb evidence that I'm using to debunk your stupid ass. But you're so dumb and lost in the conversation that you forgot all that. Like you got it's very difficult for you guys to keep up. It's very difficult for you guys to hold on, I'm still talking. No, I won't hold on.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, no need to be sorry. Just be careful, all right? And so that's why I had to catch you guys up, and why I'm not really interested in having a conversation with you that often, because you can't keep up, right? We're having a conversation about Plato. We're having a conversation about Atlantis. You bring up Plato. I begin to debunk it, and now you're talking about debunking that as if it was my evidence. You see how dumb you are? You're an idiot, Angry Consuela.
Once again, don't appreciate the accusation in the name.
That you're an idiot? No. You really are an idiot, because you didn't know that wasn't my evidence. You didn't know that was a conversation about.
I didn't know what Critias was until you said it yourself.
And you see how you're even enforcing your idiocy, right? Even enforcing it more right now. Mm-hmm. Anything else? Well, you wanted to come up and ask about it, and now I told you, yeah, that's what happened.
Still waiting on an answer.
An answer to what? Hold on. An answer to what?
I listened to you. Let me have my time. So basically,
you said you're waiting for an answer. Tell me what you're waiting for an answer for.
I'm waiting for the answer to, in your title, you said America equals Atlantis.
That's correct.
When people were asking about that, specifically me,
what did you say?
Go read Critias.
That's not how that conversation came up at all.
They just deny everything. Okay, I see your tactic. Hey man.
Well, let me ask you this. So you say I deny everything, right? What am I denying?
Yes.
What am I denying?
Anytime anybody calls you out on an inconsistency,
what are you calling me out? What are you calling me out on? What are you calling me out on?
The fact that you didn't say that when I said why is America equals Atlantis, and you said go read Critias,
I would never
citing that as your primary.
Nope, that's not what happened. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you right now, I can guarantee you almost for one. And if I'm wrong, go clip it, bro. I didn't delete any of my videos, right? You were on it, okay? So I can tell you almost 100% what happened is you guys come up here and you start talking about quoting why you think Atlantis is wherever you think it is. And I'm like, well, where did you get this from? And then you guys will usually say something like some Greek philosopher.
I'm saying
can you shut the hell up? Can you shut the hell up? Can you shut the hell up? Right? And so you guys will usually say some Greek philosopher. And usually I have to correct you and be like, you're talking about Plato? That's not what Plato said. Never once in life have I said Atlantis is America because Plato said it. I would never have said that. I would have said, number one, because there are maps, flat out maps that people used to explore to come to Atlantis, point blank. And I've showed those maps on here. Shut the hell up. And I've showed those maps on here many times. You don't know that because you're an idiot that talks without learning. All right. So that would have been my reason. Then I would have said, and along with the maps, there have been many different people, respected, real or not, that flat out call America Atlantis. And then I would have said, and then most people bring up Plato. Plato describes Western Ethiopia or Atlantis, but he's clearly talking about America. That's not my evidence. And you guys will say, okay, so let's talk about Plato. So Plato never, I think that Plato's work is fiction. So even if Plato's work is fiction, does that get rid of any of those other things that I brought up at all? No, the fuck it doesn't, all right? That's why I don't take you guys serious. That's why I don't take you guys serious, because you're a fucking moron, Morty, all right? I gotta literally, no, I'm not listening to you, bro, all right? I literally gotta have the conversation with you, explain everything that I'm saying to you because you don't get it. Then I gotta catch you up, explain what you're saying because you're an idiot. You know what I mean? It's too much work for no payoff. All right, there's no payoff for me to making you look like an idiot. I don't really give a damn. You're an idiot regardless if I make you look like it or not. And I don't learn anything from this. Neither does the crowd, all right? We just get to see you look like an idiot. All right, so I never once said that the reason why I think Atlantis is America is because Plato said it. All right, you're a fucking moron. Keep up with the conversation or get your ass cooked.
Never said. First of all, I'm not a moron.
Yeah, the fuck you are. Go ahead.
Second of all, what maps are you referring to? So
oh, now it's what maps, right? Yeah. Are you gonna backtrack from what you said earlier before you start a new conversation, or what?
No, sir. You just claimed that Plato's work.
No. See, you can't keep up again. No, you can't keep up again. No, I'm not holding on. No, I'm not holding on. Nobody can hear you, bud. No, nobody can hear you, bud. You can't keep up again, right? What happened is you came up here and said that I was using Plato as evidence for America being Atlantis. And I corrected you by saying, nope, that's not what I was doing. If you ever asked me for evidence, I would have laid out all of these different things. And you're like, okay, well, fine. Where's the maps? No, hell no. You need to correct yourself on what you said. All right. I was not using Plato as evidence for what America being Atlantis. I was using it to debunk your guys' evidence of where Atlantis was because you guys bring up Plato. That's the point of what I said. All right. So you're not going to distract people from that. Deal with that. All right.
My question still is, what maps are you referring
to? I don't give a damn. All right. I don't give a damn what your question is, bro. You answer my questions now. All right. So this is my question to you. Other than Plato, right? What reference are you making to determine where Atlantis is or is not? Other than Plato, what reference have you ever heard of about Atlantis? Other than Plato, go ahead.
There is none.
There is none, right? See, you see how much of a fucking idiot you are? You are a real life moron, bro. And I don't care about educating you at all, right? See, that's what I'm saying. You're an idiot. You think the only place that we even heard about Atlantis is Plato. That's why I brought up Plato. Because that's the only thing you guys know. That's not my evidence. That's your stupid evidence. You just admit it. There is no reference to Atlantis other than Plato. Except, yes, there is, but you don't know that because you're a moron. Remember when I called you that earlier? I wasn't playing.
When people quote things, they typically cite sources. So I'm just asking.
I am not, I don't give a damn what people typically do, bitch. Bitch, I don't give a damn what people typically do. You came up here talking nonsense and I'm proving how what you're saying is nonsense. You made a misstatement that I was using Plato. No, I wasn't. You guys used Plato. So you are either going to backtrack off that or that's what I'm saying. We're not moving on to the next part of the conversation. You literally just said there is no reference other than Plato. All right, so that's why your reference is Plato, because you don't know of another one. You're not keeping up with the conversation, all right? So when you say my evidence for Atlantis is Plato, you're lying. Your evidence for Atlantis is Plato, because you just said, I don't know of another reference. I brought up a whole bunch of different stuff about Atlantis.
Society that Plato came up with out of his head.
And that's your dumb opinion because you're an idiot.
Okay, so what is your counter argument?
I don't need a counter argument to an idiot, bro. They already heard my counter argument. You're an idiot. No, it's not. This is not a debate. Debating who? How am I going to debate you? You're a moron.
Call in on Discord. Debate record 19.
Those are completely separate things. Those are completely separate things. That's just I'm just flexing on you. That's it. Yeah, you're not smart enough to debate me or informed enough, bro. You can't debate me. Yeah, this is not. I don't even get a win for this. I don't even get a win for this, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like this is pointless. I can't debate you. I don't even get a win. Yeah. So all right. No. Listen. I need you to try hard to follow this conversation. All right. Do you recognize right now that the only reference you know of about Atlantis is Plato? Right. That's why you said it's the only one. Correct. Yes or no? Just I need a yes or no because you're having a hard time following this conversation. So you recognize that? Correct. All right. Okay, so earlier when you said you were debunking Plato as fictional because I was using it, that was an exercise in futility because you're the only one, not just you, but you and other people, you guys are the only one that thinks that Plato made up Atlantis. So that's not even part of my evidence at all. So when you debunk that, all you do is debunk yourself. You understand what I mean? Or you didn't get that part?
And what you're saying by that completely. And
I know you don't. That's why I'm slowing it down for you, bro. Listen to what I'm saying. All right. If I brought up a bunch of maps and you guys bring up Plato to debunk my maps, and then I bring up what Plato actually said, and you bring it up as a fictional story, you see how that doesn't debunk my maps? Are you getting it now?
What you're saying with that logic, I completely understand.
You understand now, right? And you understand why I've been frustrated this whole time now, right?
No, I understand why you're upset.
Now, I'm not upset, bro. I'm not upset. I'm just frustrated talking to idiots, all right? Because you are debunking your own evidence, and you think it's debunking mine, and I don't have the patience to explain it to you clearly, all right?
I'm just trying to figure out
why. I know you're trying to figure out. I know you're trying to figure out, and I'm helping an idiot figure it out right now. All right, you should thank me. So like I was saying, bro, my evidence was not Plato. So you can debunk Plato as a fictional story, a fake story, a toilet story. That don't mean nothing to me because that was your guys' evidence, evidenced by the fact that you just said Plato is the only reference. That's my point. So throw Plato out the window and never again come up here and say that you're debunking Plato as imaginary because that debunks my idea of Atlantis. Because that don't got nothing to do with my idea of Atlantis. That's your dumb evidence. And so now, just so you know, since we debunked Plato, when I do show you a map, right, or I do show you another story where somebody was talking about Atlantis, you can't use Plato to debunk me. You know why? Because you just debunked it. Do you agree with that?
What you're saying, I don't necessarily agree fully with what you're saying.
But how do you not agree? You were just arguing for Plato being an imaginary story. So if that's an imaginary story, then how are you going to use, hold on, listen to my question. If that's an imaginary story, sir, I can't hear you. If that's an imaginary story, how are you going to use an imaginary story to debunk a real map that people were actually using? You can't, right? You can't.
No, it's not that I can't. It's that.
So, all right, so explain that to us then. Explain that to us. How can you use a story that you were just arguing being imaginary to debunk a real map that explorers were using? How do you do that?
Sure, I'm not sure what
map you're even referring to. It's not important what map I'm referring to. It's the principle that you think.
Your primary evidence.
No, see, that's what I'm saying, bro. You're not following the conversation. All right, I'm not going to explain that part to you. All right, so you don't get it. You're too slow to keep up in this, conversation. To me, it's basic level, but I guess it's high level to you, bro.
Let me understand it a little bit better by asking you a couple questions. Is that okay?
You could try, but I don't think you're going to ask the right questions. But go ahead.
Well, can I just ask?
Yeah, no. Ask the questions. I got zero faith in you, though, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm completely sleep on you, bro. I am sleep on your intellect right now, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm completely sleep on it. Go ahead. Guys, like the video. Hey, like the video if you don't mind, and sub if you like the content. All right, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. What's your question?
No, you gotta get your plug in, bro. I get it. So, quick question. You believe that Atlantis was a real place, correct?
Irrelevant. I don't operate off belief.
You think that Atlantis was a real place?
It's not a part of this conversation, bro. I'm about what has been shown historically that America was called. I can show you multiple ancient maps that have America being labeled the island of Atlantis and multiple different stories of people flat out calling it that, all right? So it's not about what I think. If there's a map, right, you don't get to say the map is fake. Who the hell are you? You see what I mean? So if I find a real map and some random freaking guy is like, no, that's a fake map, I'm going to be like, all right, thank you, bro. Get your ass away from me.
What gives you the authority to say that it's a real map?
This is a dumb conversation I would never have with an adult, all right? If you want to believe it's fake, then do your thing, bro. If I see a map, you don't get to tell me it's fake or not, all right? Period. Never in life.
You don't get to tell me it's real or not.
I never was. I never called into your show to convince you or nothing. I never called into your stupid show, bitch. I never called you ever. I don't know you. I never called you once. All right? That's my point. Get your stupid ass on. What's wrong with these idiots? Well, you don't get to convince me. All right? Go argue with your wife. All right? I'm not your freaking wife. What's wrong with this idiot? Buddy is sick. I never tried to convince you either. What? The fuck are we doing? I'm sorry, it's late. You know what I mean? It's late. Look at Nightcrawler. Hey, Nightcrawler, I know you guys are mad because you down real bad this week, all right? Listen, we're not even gonna rub it in, all right, Nightcrawler? I know y'all took big L's this week, so I'm gonna just leave it at that, bro. I'm gonna just leave it at that, okay? Because y'all took, major L's. You already know what I'm talking about too, bro. You know what I mean? Y'all might want to chill out. Yeah. Hey. Exactly. Look, Big Mad. Look who's in the chat. Did y'all see that shit? Oh my God. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it for fear that the negative energy jump on me. You know what I mean? Just in the slight chance, you know what I mean? Yeah, y'all go ahead and, you know what I mean? Y'all go on with that shit. Yeah, y'all go ahead. Yeah, yeah. Y'all going ahead. You know what I mean? Go ahead with all that bullshit. But anyway, like I said, Buddy's not following the conversation. He doesn't understand that his only reference for Atlantis is Plato. So if you are going to debunk Plato, at that point, that's out of the conversation now. So when I bring up a map and another map and I bring up Francis Bacon, you can't be like, well, it can't be there because Plato said, huh? Nah. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it intellectual dishonesty or is it stupidity? Like, I don't wanna take the stance that you're just a dishonest person, bro. For real. Like, if I think that you're a dishonest person, then I'm gonna get mad at you. You know what I mean? Then I look at you as an enemy. Cause I'm like, this person's like purposely trying to trip me up by just saying dumb shit. But the better way is for me to think about it like, you know what? He's just an idiot. He's an honest idiot. Because if you're an honest idiot, bro, then I can talk to you again. But if you are purposely trying to be deceptive, then I gotta ban you. I can't never talk to you again. You know what I mean? So I need you to really play this conversation that we had back, bro. Think about it in depth, and if you're free tomorrow, I'll be up here tomorrow. Trust me. And you can come back and you can try it again, bro. But you really need to understand what I'm talking about. You don't get it. All right. If I show you a map or I show you a text from somebody that's not Plato, you cannot bring up Plato anymore. You can't do that because you just debunked it. And you really didn't, but I'm saying like that's what you were trying to do. So I'm like, all right, fine. If I give you that, understand that don't have nothing to do with my argument. And you're not comprehending that. All right? It's not clocking to you, bro. It's not clocking to you. Oh my God. It's not clocking to you. That's hilarious. Wesley said, who do you stand for or what do you stand for? I stand for love and happiness. All right? Love and happiness. All right? If you guys aren't happy, then listen, you don't have to deal with me, all right? Just please go away. Shout out Salty Aussie. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. All right? Love and happiness, guys. All right? Just because we disagree, that don't mean that we got to be angry. And I know I'm the angriest person, but for real. Okay? Like I just can't. Uh, ITF said, damn, we not African hit the hardest, right? They don't like that one, bro. They don't like it at all. They definitely don't like it, man. You know, they don't like me right now, bro. But it's all right. All right. We're gonna keeping on. If you guys do want to call in, you can call in on Discord. And no, it's not just to debate. Very few people are equipped to come up and debate me on these topics. If you want to ask questions, you can do that. If you want to share a positive message, you can do that. If you just want to say hello, you can do that, man. It ain't always got to be, come on. What's good, Kels? Wesley said, so these claims are affirmative positions? No, they're not. All right, you see the word not, okay? If the word not is right there, that means it's not an affirmative position, bud. Not, okay? Jesus Christ. What do you mean by history is 100% lies? History was told in reverse for the most part, especially if we're talking about the transatlantic slave trade. More slaves were sold out of America than were sold to America. Do you understand? That's what I'm saying. History was told in reverse. All right? Shout out you, Angry Consuela. All right? Like, listen, like I said, I know you think I'm not being serious, bro, but I am being serious when I say, like, me assuming that you're just an idiot is the nicest thing that I can do. Because if I think that you're coming up here and you're purposely just being this dumb, then I gotta curse you out, bro. I gotta curse you all the way out. And then I can't never talk to you again. All right. So I'm not gonna bring you back up here tonight because, like I told you, right now, all I can see is you're an idiot. And I don't wanna believe that. But I think if you go back and you listen to our conversation and you get through the yelling, get through the cursing. All right. So I'm trying to tell you, if you see through the cursing, there is a point in there. A very good one, too. A very good one. Zotar said George Washington was really a Native American freedom fighter. I have talked about the real ethnicity of George Washington several times on here. ITF said, I believe that. I respect your opinion and like what you said, which is very important. It's okay to disagree. I think that's what you meant. It's okay to disagree. Shout out ITF Dave. I appreciate that. Eric Knight, I give that joke a 3 out of 10. All right, a 3 out of 10. But let's try to keep it on subject. If you are gonna make a joke though, it better be funny. All right, it better be funny. If we're not African, then what? Well, I'm American, me personally. I don't know about you personally. I don't like to tell other people about where they're from. It's just not my thing. So if you want to explore that, with a conversation, I'm open to that. But I'm not going to tell you where you're from, bro. You know what I mean? I'm from America, though, me personally. I mean, they used Native Americans as slaves. The transatlantic slave trade was kind of after that. Yes, yes, right. Like there is record of people being sold from America, from Africa to America, but this is later after the transatlantic slave trade. Correct. That is correct. What's good, JJ? Guys, if you don't keep it on the conversation, then the mods are gonna get you. All right. We've been having a rough day, and so they're not taking any prisoners. All right. Um, LOL, you are hilarious if you truly believe. Wow. Okay. Yeah, listen, guys, no negativity, okay? All positivity. Even if you disagree, just tell us why you disagree. There's no need to start getting personal. I won't get personal with you if you don't get personal with me. And I promise if I'm calling you stupid, it's not personal. I'm responding to the things you're saying. ITF Day said can't agree more. Shout out to you, ITF Day. I think the question is, I think the question in question is that we are all from Africa, but yes, I am American as well. Yeah. I don't. The out of Africa theory has not been scientifically confirmed. For the most part, it can be traced back to Melville Hershkovich. And again, like I said about the transatlantic slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade, if anybody was sold to America during the 14, 15 to 1600s, they came from Europe. Okay, they came from Europe. This is a fact. Black MT, are you up here to troll us?
No, I'm not up here to troll. I'm here to speak.
Okay, what's on your mind, brother?
No. Honest, I was, reading reading what you have on your on on your live, and I mean, to be honest with you, I agree. Some of the statements that you made as of like the past 2 minutes, I don't fully agree, but two things, I believe two things could be true at once. But I do agree with majority of your points up there.
What? Give me something you disagree on. What was one of the things that I said that you disagreed
Disagree to say that you're wrong. I'm saying more so that two things could be true at once.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know,
Elaborate. Elaborate. I'm curious. I'm always open
well,
to expand.
history. You spoke about history being the reverse. You know
Mm-hmm.
that is true, but it also is concurrent. You see what I'm saying? Like if there's things that have happened within history that has been twisted, like the transatlantic slave trade. Like you said, it's a transatlantic slave trade, and if we understand what terms mean, trans means back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
one way or the other.
Right.
So it's not just it wasn't just importing; it was exporting as well. So that's what I mean. Like what
Definitely.
you're saying is true, but there's also another truth. There were people being imported as well, but it wasn't
Absolutely.
just an African thing.
Absolutely.
And I agree with you on that us, well, I would say in America, right? Blacks that are in America, right? We are not all Africans. Some may be, but majority of us were already here. Majority of us were already here, and that's why it's important for people to try to understand their lineage and their history and where they come from. And that's a big part of the reason why our history was removed from us, because we would see that there's no direct link there, that we were already here. Things were already going on. There's
Yeah.
there's a whole nation, a whole group of people here. And you know, people speak on Atlantis, and it's wild. Like if I could get real deep with it, I'm kind of trying to. It depends on how
Yeah.
how
Just,
vulgar do you?
yeah. No. I don't like using. I mean the censored words and stuff. But we talk about on here the fact that Clearly, if we're specifically here in America, there was an advanced civilization that was not in the so distant past. This is what the World's Fairs was largely about. Taking a lot of the technology that was already present here in America when the Europeans first came over here. Of course, a lot of that
Yeah.
has just been, done away with, and that's why a lot of the history has been done away with. But if you look at the history of the World's Fairs, they got all these different technologically advanced cities that are allegedly set up overnight and then broken down. This is the real America that they were discovering with all of these technological advances. And then
Right.
and so, we talk about that on here. Like I said, without getting into the religious jargon, if you understand what I mean.
Look, we could go and look up like the relationship when you spoke about George Washington's nationality, right? There's a lot of them that was like that. Like if we look up who Crispus Attucks, like a lot of people don't know that. If you look up Crispus Attucks and who he was, right around the time of all this was going on, the inception of America and how things were designed and what was already here, they speak on it. It's talked about, but that history is not. It's not being taught because, like you said, things are being taught in reverse. So when you're finding out things, these things were the beginning of things. If that makes sense, these were the things that were already have happened. That's why the
Right.
terms like history repeats itself is a true statement because
Right.
it already happened. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? These aren't things that you're learning now. It's something that already existed, but it is also happening again now because I mean it's a part of the design of keeping you in a certain circle and box, depending on who you are and who you align with. So it's just repeating itself over and over again. But it's already happened. That's what I'm saying. Like I agree with you. Like on a lot of the statements that you said, I agree with you. It's just I think two things can be true at once with some things, with some statements.
Right. No, definitely. There's definitely a lot of nuance to all of the statements up here. I think the critical thinkers are able to see through it, and the ones that aren't, they expose themselves not being able to think that critically without somebody prompting it, which is totally fine. One second. Somebody said the dumbest thing you have on this debate is flat earth and not moving. Well, number one, sir, I don't know if you can read English, but the word flat is not up here anywhere. No disrespect to you. But if you want to talk about the earth not moving, there have been many scientific experiments that have been devised to prove the earth is moving. Those have not succeeded up to today. As of 12:22 a.m. on the West Coast, those experiments still have not succeeded. So you're more than welcome to believe whatever you want. But if we're speaking in accordance with the scientific method, the earth has never been proven to be moving. Does that mean it's not moving? No, that's not what it means. Has it been proven to be moving? As of now, 12:23 a.m. on the West Coast, it's still not moving. So if you know which experiment has been done that has proved it, then insert that into the lexicon and we will review it together, my brother. Otherwise, calm down with all the pretentious shit, all right, before I have to flame you up. Anyways, go ahead, Black. What's continue, my bad.
Double down on that, right? To double down on that, right? The only if we speak on experiments or tests or things that have been done through a scientifical or science-based theories, right? Because science is 99% theory and experiments. Nothing is factual with science. So a lot of people don't know this, right?
Right.
But the Earth, if you look at the things that were left, monuments on Earth, right? If you just look at it and you see how certain things, even in Greek mythology, Nordic mythology, ancient Kemet, or known as Egypt mythology, and you look at Orion's belt and the equator and the pyramids of Giza and how they're still aligned with, certain stars. Why is that if we're moving and these things were made thousands and thousands of years ago? They really can't even give you an honest time frame. They say 2,000, then it was 5,000, then it's 10,000, then you see 100,000, then you see 150,000, and everything is still in alignment to what it was before. The sun and moon, rises and sets. Like, how do we feel?
Right.
We're
Like
moving
clockwork.
through a evolutionary galaxy and all this shit. Like, they have not left Earth. I don't think people understand that shit. I'm not saying it's flat. I'm not saying anything like that.
Right.
I think that we just don't fucking know.
Right.
because we're not tapped in with nature enough anymore. Like, so we don't know. But there's the who should I believe, right? And I'm not just talking about the government or America. I'm talking about just the minds of the collective people that ordain and push knowledge out, right, to people to keep us the way we are, right? What I believe them that have been lying to us about damn near every fucking thing, but what I believe things that were left through not even throughout history, but throughout uh, traditions, throughout people's lineages, right, of where they were destroyed, right, by people or governing bodies that did not want them to live outside of their construct, right?
Right. Yeah, no. I understand what you're saying. Just to clarify, you're basically saying like it makes no sense to, which I often say, because people come up here like, oh, why would they lie? Why would they lie? I'm like, you're asking me why people who are known for colonizing would lie? You know what I mean? Like, are you out of your mind? Like, their entire MO is going around destroying people's heritage, you know what I mean? Lying and taking their land. And so it's like, these are are the people that they're believing in. And I get it. They're like, well, why wouldn't you believe the scientists over your family? But it's like, they specifically came to destroy the lineage and the truth of the families in all of these respective indigenous populations. It's like that was their whole mission. Everybody knows that. That's what they're still doing it right now. And you know, so yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like people would make it seem like it makes more sense to believe them, but if you think deeply, it's like no, it makes more sense to believe the history that was trying to be hidden, you know, by the people that were passing it down, even if it's just through your lineage.
And look, I mean, we pay for water, we pay for medicine, we pay for, you know what I'm saying? That's what we're designed to be in a certain construct. We gotta think about this stuff. You know what I mean? Like the things that we believe and know to be truth and what we should do with our lives and what we're told to do. And then you look on the contrary, if you lived in nature or if you speak to somebody that may be a younger, less impressionable. Well, I would say they're impressionable, but I'm saying they're more pure-minded thinkers, right? And you listen to them. I'm talking about children, people who may be without a home, people who may not live in a society where it's governed by a certain set of rules and laws, right? And you listen to them when they talk to you, and you listen to them for the things that they say and what's important to them. You realize a lot of this shit that you've been through or you think is true is all bullshit.
Right.
It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. We don't listen. We know, but we don't know shit because a lot of people haven't proven anything.
Yeah, hold on one second.
What somebody else say.
Yeah, hold on one second. Andre said, America equals Atlantis needs an explanation. I'm willing to pay for it. Listen, you don't have to pay, all right? It's like we've been talking about this for the past hour for the most part. Okay, most people, when they are referencing what Atlantis is and where it is, they will reference Plato. That's why I very often bring up what Plato was actually describing when he talked about Atlantis, and it's clear that he was describing America. Does that mean America is Atlantis or the only Atlantis? No, I'm just saying that America was clearly called Atlantis based on many different sources, one being Plato, one being Francis Bacon, and a variety of ancient maps that certain explorers used to find America and travel around America. And they're blatantly labeled the island of Atlantis. So at that point, it's not a matter of whether or not America was called Atlantis. That is a fact. It was called it, even if only one person called it that, it was called that on maps. Now, is it the ancient Atlantis that you guys know of or you're thinking of from the movies? That's a different conversation, but that's not what I have up here. America used to be called Atlantis. That's a fact. And if you do want to get into whether or not it was a technologically advanced empire, assess the fact that the technological advancements around the entire world coincide with the colonization of America. As soon as America was colonized in the late early 1900s, the entire world began to get technology. Do you understand? This is what the World's Fairs was about, right? In Chicago, in St. Louis, in all of these major cities, they had World's Fairs where all this technology was on display for allegedly one day and then it disappeared. Okay, this was the Atlantean technology that was taken out of America because it was an advanced civilization and distributed around the world, and most of it just hidden. And almost nothing that I said right now is not directly from a primary source, directly. Anyways, go ahead, brother.
Keeping it 1,000. You keep it at 1,000. Right? You know what I'm saying? Hence, I mean, it's obvious as day. They put this is the thing. They lie to you, but they put the truth in your face and laugh that you can't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like the ocean is called the Atlantic Ocean on the eastern coast.
Right.
Why? Where did that name come from?
Exactly. Right. And it's like you know, again, this is not evidence itself, but most people they bring up the Plato. Well, it has to be in Mauritania because Plato said so. Plato literally said that Atlantis was an island bigger than Europe, Asia, and North Africa, and he said that it basically separated the Atlantic Sea from the real sea. The real sea being the Pacific Ocean, obviously. You know what I mean? So it's like he literally said it separates the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. This is almost word for word what Plato said. Not like I said, that don't mean that that's what he was that's the truth. But most people they're gonna bring up Plato, and he was clearly talking about America. You know, he even described the islands. He even described the Caribbean islands that you come to before you make it to the mainland. I mean, he describes it to a T.
Right?
Go ahead.
Look, I'm looking at all your points. I'm agreeing with you on pretty much all of it. I would just say, not for you so much, but even people that's listening and you know what I mean, comment and stuff like that. Two things can be true at once. You know what I mean? A lot of people think that the truth
What's good, Nina?
linear. You know what I mean? Like it's a one-way thing. No, the truth can go north-south. The truth can go east-west. The truth can go north-south, east and west. And what I mean by that is, you know, two things can be true at once. The earth may not be flat, but that doesn't mean it's moving.
Right,
the earth may not be a globe, but that doesn't mean that it's not in a rounder shape or in the form of a sandwich. You don't know.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You know, history what we were told could be a lie, but it also could be true in reverse.
No,
you see what I'm saying? The
way
we were taught it was a lie.
Yeah.
Certain details can be true.
No, 100%. Like, earlier somebody. Go ahead.
No, you good.
Earlier, somebody came up and asked me about the firmament and stuff. You know what I mean? And I give them the same answer for the most part. It's like, I don't like to make claims about something I don't know for sure. You know, and so it's like I really don't know. Like you said, the truth could be somewhere in the middle. People often talk about our celestial sphere and our electromagnetic field around the Earth. When you go up high on the Earth, I'm not saying this has ever been done because all of their photos are edited, but when you go up high on the Earth, if we really are in a celestial sphere, it might look like a sphere. You know, people talk about the snow globe effect all the time. So it might even look like that if you did go up there. Now it don't, because I got the picture in the background right now. I'm just saying, like, there's so many different options. You know, I don't like to stand on a position like I know what the hell I'm talking about all the way. You know, I don't claim to know stuff that I have not seen, or even when I am relying on certain scientists for certain things, I will lay it out just like that. Like I'm gonna say that, you know, based on what this scientist said, that's what makes the most sense to me. You know, most people they come in here and they're like, "Oh, I know for sure," and if you disagree with me, you're completely dumb. And that's on both sides. That's on both sides. So I do agree with that. By the way, guys, like the video if you don't mind, and sub if you like the content.
Don't look too far from what it looked like down here. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right. LS had said America is not Atlantis. Well, I respect your opinion, but we like to you know, talk about primary documents up here. You know, but you are entitled to your own opinion, religious as it may be. Shout out Nina, Salty Aussie. Who else did I see? Got to get some of these haters out of here. LS said I can show you proof. Well, I'm open to that. I am open to that. All right.
The hate is good sometimes, you know. The hate is good. It brings out some more, you know what I'm saying? Some more details and information that can, you know, benefit people. You know what I mean? But I can tell you this, I've been up there And you know, a lot of people say, you know, what they speculate from here, but when you go up there and you really get to see what the fuck it is, it's like it's not what the fuck they're showing. That shit is not what they're showing at all. It's not that. I promise you that shit. It's not that at all. You go up high enough, I'm telling you right now, they tell you can see the curvature of the earth. No, the fuck you can't.
Let's try to calm down on the curse a little bit, bro.
Oh, no, you can't see the curvature of the earth like they said, but you can tell it is dense. The earth is very dense, meaning it's thick. It's not something that's one dimensional. It's hard to explain in a way that's when our imagination as a humanity has been killed so much. If I try to describe it, people wouldn't understand what I'm saying.
Right.
Because it's a dense. You know, it's very dense, but it's not round. Like how people think like a basketball, it's not round like that. It's not rounded like that at all. You go up, there's no curvature, and that's why when you receive pictures or you receive the information from NASA or whoever it may be, they use fisheye lenses. But when you go up there and see it with your own eyes, and our eyes are rounded shaped, but when you see it from a plateau, from high up, you can see it as clear as day. Yeah. It's not what people think it is. Yeah. It's not round like a ball, and it's very dense though. It is very dense. Yeah.
Shout out all the mods in the chat. Yeah, JJ, let's try to slow down on the slurs. But listen, again, I'm not going to remove a mod because he's making fun of people in the chat. You know what I mean? Again, I will ask him to calm down on the slurs. You know what I mean? Maybe get more creative with it. But listen, this is still real offended. All right. You know, I would be a hypocrite if I did that. You know. Yeah, like, but still, let's try to participate in the conversation, JJ. You know what I mean? If people are, not participating, we could just try to get them out of there, or just ignore them. You know what I mean? Just ignore them. Yeah, listen. Again, JJ, let's not go there, bro. All right, you already know it's late. We're trying to still promote happiness and love. All right, this is still the happiness movement, even though we real offended. You know what I mean? Let's try to show love to each other. While we're here, at the very least. Either way, listen, hey, I appreciate you coming up, Black man. Listen, you welcome up here anytime, my brother. All right.
I appreciated the convo. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, man.
Y'all go out and get some info. Do your research and come up with what you can, but test everything. Don't believe nothing. Go out and find out for yourself. That's the best way you can get your answers.
Absolutely, that's a fact. Yeah, shout out to you, bro. Like I said, you're welcome up here anytime, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been tapping in with y'all every day, and so I'll be here tomorrow. I might only stream like once tomorrow because I streamed all day today. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Elizabeth, you might be right. That's what I'm saying. So if that's the case, just like sometimes you guys just gotta ignore him. All right, the same way I'm telling him to ignore other people, you guys gotta ignore him too. All right, we got a lot of savages in here. All right, we got a lot of savages in here. Goofy said Earth is flat. Thank you, Goofy. I appreciate that comment. Dragons as in wings? Please explain. Dragons were the proper taxonomical category before they invented dinosaurs, all right? So I'm trying to stay true to what we know for sure and not what people have made up in their imagination. Thank you for that question. Henry said, many will say the earth isn't spinning. Well, that's only because we follow the scientific method, sir. If we didn't follow the scientific method, then maybe we would be religious like you. Focus said, I agree with the guy who's on camera. Focus, I appreciate that. Bingo, let's try not to talk about each other individually, all right? Let's try to keep it on the subject. If you guys notice, even when I insult people, I never try to insult them personally like that. It's always about what they're saying or about their intelligence level, you know? Try to insult people's intelligence rather than who they are personally, you know? I want everybody to feel safe to be who they are. We don't got to make people feel uncomfortable for what they do in their private life, all right? Whatever they do in their private life is what they do. One Shot said, good night, all. Just believe what makes you happy. But if you know, you know. I agree with that, One Shot, all right? Believe what makes you happy. Stop trying to convince other people. We're just up here to connect with the people that we love. That's it. Listen, officially, Riley, I already explained that. You're going to have to rewind the tape if you want to hear that. Angry said, edited isn't the same as fake. Well, in order for me to believe a photo, it has to, at the very least, be unedited. At the very least. Leon said, space travel is impossible due to such vast distances. Very interesting. Angry said, I can understand that. Well, I'm happy you understand. Yeah, shout out JJ. JJ, you know I love a good joke, but, you know, we don't want to give them any reason to shut us down, bro, all right? No reason at all. I hope you can respect that, bro. Angry said, logically speaking, what is the evidence they're fake? I'm not going to say that they're fake. I'm just saying it's not enough evidence for me to believe conclusively that they're telling the truth. Not at all. I just don't believe them, all right? If you guys don't mind, like the video, of course, and sub if you like the content. I'm just saying I don't believe it. You can believe whatever you want. Domestic said, don't worry about them. I believe your message. Thank you so much, Domestic. The way this experience said I lost a bunch of debates. Well, why don't you clip it up then? Clip it up and prove to us that I lost. Klondike said the Earth is definitely moving. Do you have any scientific evidence of this? Craig said I like the music. RX, listen, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like your name, and so I'm not really inclined to read your comments right after I read your name. So if I skip your comment, I'm sorry, bro. It's hard for me to read your name and then keep reading. I will read all the super chats though. I'm just saying, I'm trying to read your comments, but if I miss it, I miss it, bro. I'm reading fast, so when I come to your name, sometimes I just automatically move on. Good night, Nina. Thank you so much for tuning in, love. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. James said you can clearly see the earth move every day. That is a lie, James. That is clearly a lie. Studio said telescope versus a P1000. One sees hundreds of millions of miles. The other one can see enough to prove the earth is flat. You tell me. Klondike said there are currently 11,000 satellites orbiting Earth. Can you show me a photo of a real satellite in space? I'm just curious. If they are up there orbiting, can we get a real photo? The ISS should be able to see some, right? Do the people on the ISS ever take a picture of a real satellite? If they have, drop it in my Discord. I want to see it. AJ said, I'm on standby. Whenever you need a clown gone, just say, AJ, get him out of here. I appreciate that, AJ. Craig said, research the firmament. Nina said, I follow you on IG. I seen you in there, Nina. Jensen said the Earth is round because thousands of satellites actively orbit. I want to know what you guys think about this. What do you guys think about this? This is a PhD astronomer. Buddy said, again, once more for the record, it has been shown at least 6 different ways this century alone that the equations and physics used by NASA to launch satellites are identical to the equations derived from a geocentric universe. Thus, if the space program is proof of anything, it proves geocentricity and disproves heliocentrism. The evidence for heliocentrism is even weaker than the evidence for evolution. That is PhD astronomer. Wow. I'm gonna say I don't think you guys know enough about the satellite program to make the type of statements that you're making. All right, because the PhD astronomers disagree with you. All right. I'm just saying you shouldn't bring up satellites if they're just gonna debunk you that easily. You know what I mean? That's kind of crazy, bro. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, you guys like the video and sub if you like the content. I'm just saying, this is a little gem. Hey, if you need that, rewind, screenshot it. You know what I mean? Next time somebody tries to bring up satellites to you, say, sir, what is this? Timbo said evolution equals not science. That's a fact. Somebody called me Adam Driver again. That joke has made it all the way down to a 1 now. That joke is a 1 out of 10 because people keep using it. Guys, please stop spamming. How did you come up with your beliefs? These are not my beliefs. These are consistent with the scientific method. These are represented in primary documentation. El Jefe said, homie's still going. Listen, man, you got to outwork them. All right. I got too many haters right now, bro. I got to work overtime. The Wayne experience that your feelings are not facts. I agree with that. IFT said, with all due respect, that's still a belief, friend. When NASA tells you publicly that they destroyed all information on how to get to the moon, how blind can you be? If the Earth is not a globe, what is it then? I honestly don't believe that anybody has ever proven the real shape and size of the Earth. I don't know of anybody that has ever claimed to do that. Yeah, you guys make it hard for me to read all the comments when you start spamming. All right, I really do want to respond to all the important stuff. Again, like I repeat myself a lot throughout the day. So when you guys start asking me the same questions over and over, sometimes I'm just gonna ignore it. All right, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be back tomorrow, so you're gonna have to wait till I got more energy. Somebody said, "What about satellites?" You see, guys, that's why. Look, here's my answer to satellites. See, I can't be repeating myself all day. There you go. All right, if you didn't get it all the way, go back and take a screenshot. I never said it disproves satellites, idiot. I'm sorry, Elizabeth, but come on, all right, pay attention. Kendrick said, "So you think all the images of Earth are fake?" I think they're all edited. That's a fact. I saw your comment, the weight experience, or I saw it. Studio said the Earth is round as it is the plate that is sealed to the firmament. It might actually be a ball if we were allowed to dig under the firmament to find the curve is beneath us as well. Very interesting. IFT Dave said I need to be more patient with people. Listen, IFT Dave, I think that's why you're here, bro. I think you're here to be patient with them. Yeah, I'm not patient, bro. I don't like these people that much. I like people that are intelligent, that want to have conversations honestly, that can exercise some critical thinking. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this comment. Oh my God. Look at this comment. Please, God, look at this. Everybody, if you are a mod, look at this comment. Oh my God, look at it. We're going to turn the music off for this one. Buddy said, oh my God. People forget about other countries. My country, India. ISRO have pictures that prove the Earth is a globe. Oh my God. Buddy trying to take me out with that one, bro. Buddy trying to take me out with that one. Oh my God, dude. Shout out all my Indians out here, man. You know, we love our Indian people out here, but buddy, you are not serious. Oh shit. That is I ain't gonna lie, bro. Hey, if anything convinced me that the space program was real, it was the Indian space program for sure, bro. That was the most convincing space program I ever seen in my life. All right, you guys go look up the photos. Excuse me, of the videos of that Indian moon landing. It's the most realistic thing I've ever seen. Literally, I mean, it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. But he said people forget that my country, India, went to the moon. Didn't you see the Indian moon landing? I bet y'all do believe that Indian moon landing over there, huh? I bet y'all do believe that bullshit. Oh my God. Dude. Has anybody seen those Indian moon landing photos? Look at Timbo. Oh my God. Clutch said the sun moves around the earth. Studio said all countries with space programs have pictures of space. The best looking ones come from Guardians of the Galaxy, where we can inspect floating celestial heads. By the way, guys, I appreciate you so much for tuning in. If you don't mind, like the video. If you like the content, please sub. You guys can call in if you want. I'm kind of enjoying not talking to you, and so you really don't have to. But the Discord is on my page if you must call in. What's good, Darren? Darren, we burning the midnight oil. RX said Brandon in the chat knows ball. See, RX, that's the only like comment I can stomach from you. Every time I see your name, I'm just like, what is that name? Veritas said the sun moves, we don't. Studio said rockets require resistance beneath to push against. In a vacuum, that resistance is gone. Rockets do not work in a vacuum. Yeah, I'm not pressed about it, bro. I'm just telling you why I don't want to read your comments, all right? My bad. I'll stop responding to you. Is there proof of dragons? I would say there's a lot more proof of dragons than dinosaurs. Now, what you consider to be proof is a matter of interpretation, but as compared to dinosaurs, there is far more proof of dragons. Far more. Not even close. Like by 10 country miles, there's way more proof of dragons. Veritas said the Red Bull jump used a fisheye lens. IFT Dave said had higher hopes for us here. No idea what you're talking about, Dave. Shout out to you, bro. Perfectly imperfect. I bet you won't prove it, but you're not even gonna get the chance, honestly. Johnny said, how is America Atlantis? America used to be called Atlantis based on many different sources, one of those being ancient maps. I've showed many of those maps on here many times. You guys are starting to get boring, man. Daniel, I read your comment. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but I have seen some interesting things about that. Angry, I do mean the Atlantis of legend. I absolutely do. But I am making a distinction between the two for the purpose of my argument. But I do mean both. You know what I mean? So either way, I'm right. I'm definitely right on the first part, but the Atlantis of legend, I'm right on that too. But like I said, I separate the two for the purpose of my argument, so that way it can really be stamped in. You know what I mean? I'm very clever that way. Oh. Yeah, I talk about the technological advances around the entire world coinciding with the colonization of America. The advanced civilization that existed in America prior. That's what I talk about. Coinciding. That's what I mean. Oh. Tony said, what are your thoughts on the North Pole? They are certainly hiding the land at the North Pole. I think that the North Pole might actually be the Garden of Eden. I don't know for sure, though. Raven said the inner earth is the Garden of Eden. That's interesting. Angry said, I think talking about the North Pole being Mount Atlantis. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, I see what you mean now, Angry. Yeah, I guess I could agree with that a little bit. Was good, Grash. Guys, like the video if you don't mind, and sub if you like the content, of course. We're burning the midnight oil this time. That means I probably won't stream until 5 p.m. tomorrow. Yeah, Dripless, you're cursing a lot. I don't know. It's difficult for me to read your shit. ITF said, this is fun. I love people. God, I think Tartaria and Atlantis might have been synonymous at one point. Studio said the Red Bull jump shows occur from a fish eye lens. It inverses at the beginning, and the scale shows means 80% of the Earth is New Mexico. They're saying based on the scale that they showed, New Mexico would take up 80% of the Earth. You guys are all full of shit, is what he's saying. All right, like the video and sub if you like the content. Jose, God bless you too. Somebody said, do you believe in the moon? What do you mean, do I believe in the moon? Okay, thank you, Dripless. You don't have to. I appreciate it. Fisher said people should look into the salt flats because of how long they lay and how much curvature should be there. When you are measuring the salt flats, it basically measures the Earth 100% not curved or flat, depending on how you want to describe it. Brandon said, why don't you stand on your shit and start articulating a message? Brandon, if you have a question, you can ask that, all right? Don't tell me what to do. Yeah, don't tell me what to do, bro. Shout out AJ and JJ. I see you guys. AJ and JJ and May J. Hey, J. AJ. JJ. Oh. Dude, I've been streaming all day. I forgot I had my leftover food here the whole time. I'm gonna probably have to finish this show. I'm not gonna lie. It's getting kind of late, you know what I mean? I don't know if I want to microwave this in the morning. No, I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator. Give me a second. Yeah, I thought about it. These tacos finna hit early in the morning, boy. You ever wake up and the first thing you have a taco? Ugh. IFT Dave said, God bless America. Microwave tacos in the morning. And I mean, like, there is no better life to live. I know I'm probably wrong because I've never been to, too many other countries, but I'm just saying, it is a beautiful way to wake up. Hopefully not too hot tomorrow anyway. America was Egypt, Atlantis, and blank in old times. I agree with that. Open Minds. Shout out Open Minds. I like the name and that comment. Honestly, I might add you as a mod just off that alone. See, one good name and one good comment can make you a mod. One bad name and one bad comment could make me never look at your name again. Daniel said Atlantis, America's Atlantis, Tartary, Atlantide. Yeah, shout out you, Open Minds. I mess with that. IFT said tough crowd. I think I understand what you meant. IEF. I think I got that joke, bro. If that comment was toward me saying that I almost made that dude a mod, that's almost worth me making you a mod. Oh, that's hilarious. You're like, bro, I've been here talking for the last hour. You haven't said that to me one time. Oh, buddy is sick. All right, I'll make you a mod off that comment. Don't abuse it though, bro. All right, don't abuse it. Only delete people if they're trying to get us out of here. Sergio, let's calm down. Slime said, spit some knowledge, bro. Come on, spit knowledge. Like I'm a puppet. I just want to read your guys' comments. Is that all right? Renshin said, the confidence stupid people have is outstanding. Are you talking about yourself? Was that self-deprecation? Is that what that was? How do I call on Discord? If you join the Discord, there's a tab that says live show. If you click on that live show tab, I should be able to add you up, right? It's okay, bro. Just if you're already on the Discord, look at all those tabs that you see, find the one that says live show, and you'll be able to click and enter right in. Pause. Sergio said, thanks for the shout out. I just thought it was funny to say. Danielle said the Grand Canyon is Egypt, Mississippi River is the Nile. They replaced and put 4 to 17 dams to push out the Red Sea all the way. Oh my gosh. Oh, reading that comment almost hurt my heart. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I talked about some British literature from the 1800s where they were flat out calling the Mississippi River the Nile, flat out calling the the people here in America the children of, it's just certain stuff just hurts your heart, it just hurts your heart. When you hear it, you're just like, ugh. Hey, you don't have to delete that comment, JJ, all right? I know JJ is getting a little trigger happy right now. If they're asking me about stuff related to the topics, you don't got to delete that, bro. See, this is what you can. Yeah, I figured it was an accident. Yeah, hey, that was an accident, Johnny. Hey, Johnny, we didn't mean to get your comment out of here, all right? Johnny said, where can I see those maps you mentioned about America and Atlantis? I know one of them is either in the Library of Congress or the library at Harvard. But if you want me to just show it to you because you want to look at it, then hit me up in the Discord, and I'll send it to you, or I'll pull it up and you can screenshot it. Do I know anything about the catacombs? I'm gonna be honest. Oh, the catacombs is such an interesting subject. I don't really know that much about it, other than the fact that bone density is set up for resonance, right? You ever heard the term that humans hear with their bones? Understand why human bone remains might be useful for certain resonant frequency technology. Because, you know what I mean? Like, humans are all vibration. That's what our bones are. Our bones are literally set up to receive. Anyways. It's an interesting subject to me. Obviously, I don't know a lot about it, what it was used for specifically. But when you see all that and you look at the way it was designed, it starts to resemble certain, electromagnetic frequency technology, which you can understand why human bones, could come into effect with that. Anyway, that's just like my speculation on it. Because I'm like, okay, yeah, why would they use all these bones? It's not just like a graveyard. We know that. It's not like some sinister. I mean, you can say it's sinister if you want, but why would somebody put that much effort into some sinister? Like, it's ridiculous. If anything, I bet you that there's some kind of technology that human remains was very useful for. Now, you could call that sinister if you want, but I'm just saying that's what it seems like. Yeah, the claim is that America used to be called Atlantis. And yes, America used to, at the very least, be a part of the technologically advanced empire that used to be Atlantis. Or maybe just the epicenter. I don't know. But at the very least, it used to be called Atlantis. Magnets were crafted by the ancestors to distract us from the truth. That's interesting. God mode, I can agree with that, but I'm more talking about the reason why they were set up that way. Of course, yeah, like if you have that many bodies, you're not going to build that slowly over time, right? No, that did not happen slowly over time. That happened after an enormous tragedy, and they were using those bodies for some kind of resonant frequency technology. If I had to guess, like I say, I'm like, it makes the most sense. Yeah, like to me, I'm very interested in doing some more research on what it possibly could have been, because it is like quite an amazing structure that it has to have been built by some type of resonant frequency technology. Just the amount of time that it would have took to build it, the amount of time that it would have took to collect all that, it just, we're talking about an obscene amount of time. And how long are those tunnels? Right? How long are those catacomb tunnels? Think about how long it would take to build that. We're talking about like hundreds of years, hundreds of years. So unless that was built over hundreds of years, it had to be some kind of resonant frequency technology that could like build things quickly. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, it's miles. We talking about miles of this. So that would take so long to build and collect and shape in a perfect mathematical precision. It would take so long. Fisher said, go outside every night and the North Star's in the same place. The Earth is stationary. Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, JJ. You see, that's the type of play. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I said, some of the other stuff I seen you doing, I'm like, yeah, get them dudes out of here. You know what I mean? If they're wasting time, no need to even mess around with that. 904 said, I don't believe anyone from Earth has been to the outer orbit. I believe the Bible, where it says there's water beyond the firmament. Shout out 904. ITF said, I love us. We are all one race, the human race. Amen. I agree with that, ITF. Oh, we do not have the same coordinate due to the polarity shifting. Joseph, elaborate on that. Where did you hear that at? Coin Frog said every other celestial body is round. How do you know these other celestial bodies are round? And why would that be scientific evidence of what we are? Open minds said Grand Canyon was Egypt, and Utah was. Some people say Utah was Utah. Utah. Right. Nick said the firmament is round. No, the dad type. Okay, hold on 1 second. All right, Thanos, are you up here to troll us? Thanos,
Yeah.
are you up here to troll us?
No, not at all.
All right, what's on your mind, Thanos?
So is this like a conspiracy channel or just like?
No, this is a science and history channel. I am the host, the very humble, undefeated, undisputed heavyweight debate champion of the world, also known as the protector of the scientific method. That's what they call me on here. I'm the protector of the scientific method. So we discuss science, and then when we're discussing history, we try to stick to primary documents. So this is not about conspiracies. Certainly isn't about theories. We actually try to weed through the theories over here and stick to only what has been shown through the scientific method and through primary documentation. Guys, like the video and sub if you like the content.
I did want to get your opinion. What do you think about Stonehenge?
I mean, I think it's interesting. I think it falls under the category of what I was talking about earlier. Buildings that would seem impossible to build under any known circumstances in any amount of time that we have today. So I would believe that they had to be probably built with some kind of ancient technology, or maybe like some people suggest using giants or something. I really don't know.
The Giants thing keeps coming back, man. Because they say there's that one mountain that looks like the bottom of a tree, like it's been cut off.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then you got the Easter Island heads that are buried from the neck down, like those are effigies of titans.
Definitely.
What do you do you think there's more evidence that giants exist? Like we just haven't found it?
I think that we probably have found it, but there's a lot of stuff that is just not shown to the public. If you dig deep enough, just like I find a bunch of stories about people talking about dragons in the 1800s, mid to late 1800s, even some as early as as late as the early 1900s. If you dig deep enough, there are stories about giants in the not so distant past.
Right. Do you think that some people would have a little bit of giant in them? Because you've got people that are 7, 8 foot tall out here. I mean, I'm 6'7", so maybe I got a little bit of giant in me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. Me and one of my friends talk about it all the time. My boy Reality, who runs our Discord, he's like about 6'7", 6'8" too. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I think that there are have brought up a few different tribes in Africa where the average height of the person in the tribe is 7 feet tall and shit. And so I think these are forms of giants, but I have no doubt that they probably went to much larger than that at a certain point.
We found proof the government would keep them from us because they would want to keep a panic at a minimum. Because I guess people would use that as a excuse to go burn stuff down and shit. But I think they do the same thing with aliens.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to get too much into the stuff that I don't actually have direct knowledge of. I'm sure, from a logical standpoint, it probably is so, but until then, we can only speculate.
Assume that aliens would exist. I mean, we got this massive universe. You can't tell me that we're the only ones in it.
Yeah, especially if there are more continents than the ones that we've been shown. It makes no sense to believe that there wouldn't be more people over there, or more something.
We keep
More
hearing
life.
stuff about they found microbes on Mars, and then they'll be like, oh, we looked into another galaxy and we found a super Earth. How do you know there ain't people living there? How do we know the microbes on Mars was not an attempt to establish society on Mars?
Yeah, well, honestly, I don't believe that they've ever even went to Mars up in the sky. Now, there may be another continent somewhere else called Mars. I believe that they would have went over there on an airplane or something, but I don't believe that they're studying anything in any form of a distant galaxy that's not, you know, in some kind of parallel state that we could travel to north, south, east, and west.
Right. Do you think parallel universes exist? Like, do you think there's any sign of a multiverse?
I don't know if there's any sign of it. People are theorizing about it because when you look at the fine tuning problem, it basically, people are still trying to figure out the randomness of the universe. But the universe is designed, at least the Earth, the part of it that we occupy, is designed in a way that would say that it's impossible that it could be random. It has to be basically intelligently designed because of how fine tuned every detail of the universe is to make sure that life has the ability to propagate where we are. And so because of that, the best idea for them to even make way of that is um the multiverse problem. I know most people don't know that this is where this came from, but I swear to God, this is basically what they're trying to solve. So they're like, okay, well, the only way that we could justify how we are in the perfect universe with the perfect conditions is that randomly every single potential universe is out there and has been tried, and consciousness is basically just going to live in the ones that give way for life. This is how they're trying to explain away really the fine-tunedness problem. So I wouldn't say that there's necessarily evidence of it directly. Nobody's ever talked to a different dimension, but trying to figure out why we are here, why life developed in this spot at this time. Sometimes the only way to explain that from a standpoint of randomness is to say that every possibility is out there, but we're just in the one that we are in because the luck of the draw.
Right. Most of the stuff that you hear about multiverse now comes from comic books and comic book movies. And it makes you think: if there really were a multiverse, would there not need to be a mediator for? Oh, if this universe is going to impact this one, it's going to destroy both timelines, like a Kang the Conqueror situation.
Right.
You would have to.
Yeah, I said shout out. What's my boy's name that's supposed to play King? I can't even remember his name no more. See, buddy name gone that quick. Oh my gosh. See, nothing will ruin you faster than a woman. That's crazy. Yeah. Shout out Jonathan Majors. That's his name I was thinking of.
Well,
Anyway.
Asher got that role taken from him.
Yep, sure did. All right, stay away from these women, young man. All right, you don't want to be like Jonathan Majors. Guys, like the video if you don't mind, and sub if you like the content. But yeah, like I said, I agree that it's possible, but like you said, most of it just comes from comic books and stuff because they're trying to reason how evolution could happen and be random while we also are the most finely tuned, perfect state in the universe for life to exist the way it does.
Well, all right, buddy. I'm gonna hop off here, okay?
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you so much. You're welcome up here anytime, brother. Shout out.
All right, thanks, man.
That was the Dad Titan, and he has Thor on it. That's why I called him Thor. All right, are we ready to go to sleep yet, guys? What's up? ITF said, I happen to agree with you there, friend. Look into Operation Fishbowl. Studio said, Lord is a translation of wow. Okay, hey, that's very interesting. We're not gonna go there, but point received. Studio, point received. X-ray said flat Earth. It's a sphere, but it's hollow inside. And there's 3 flat Earths inside. We are only on the first island. That's interesting, Tinky. This sounds like a plot from One Piece. Did you get that from One Piece? Drew said, why do the three main religions trick their followers into worshiping a cube? Drew is not entirely wrong about this. I know exactly what you're talking about. All right, we're not going to go too deep on that, but I do know what you're talking about. I had to take some screenshots the other day of something I was looking at because it just baffled me. Along the subject of what you're talking about right now, I took some screenshots of something. I'm like, huh? It doesn't make any sense. That cube does pop up. That cube pops up in random places. Nick, yes, not only should humans reproduce, but nothing is ever going to stop humans from reproducing, all right? As long as people like me are on the planet, trust me, more humans is going to get made. All right, I guarantee it. That's why I'm streaming right now. You know what I mean? Keep myself from, you know what I mean? If I wasn't doing this, what you think I'd be doing? Exactly. Come on now. All right, shout out Studio Fish, ITF, Clutch. I think we might call it a night, man. We've been on here all day. I'm coming back tomorrow. ITF said, okay, go to bed, young curly-haired friend. You did okay. You can always improve. Well, thank you for that, ITF. You know what I mean? I appreciate it. Tiki said, it's a simulation AI inside AI. We keep going down. Ironic. Very interesting. Call it a night, buddy. You're hurting your brain severely. You need a reset. Well, I appreciate you for tuning in anyways. All right? Again, I have been doing this all day. And I will be back tomorrow. I see people talking about the whatchamacall. Are dragonflies drones? I have no idea. Yeah. Clutch says stars are cymatics. Is that the last comment we're going to go out with tonight? Stars are cymatics? Is that it? Is there one more worth reading? Yeah, listen, guys. Stars are cymatics. Okay, go look up cymatics. Lex said, do you astral travel? I try not to. I'm not going to lie. I try not to. Although I do lucid dream a lot, I try not to put myself anywhere I don't want to be, if you know what I mean. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. All right. Like the video if you don't mind. Sub if you like the content. Okay. I will be back. Probably not early. If I am back early tomorrow, it might be on TikTok. We'll see. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you in the morning. Y'all be good.